What's going on, guys? My name is Ryan Snod, it rhymes with odd, and welcome to another video. So I run a Facebook group called the Freelance Videographer Community that has over 30,000 members in it from all around the world. So I wanted to make a video to teach you guys how I built this community and the step-by-step process that you need to take to start your own Facebook group. If you want to see more videos about marketing and social media, make sure to hit the big like button down below, and let's jump in. There are many benefits to starting and owning your own Facebook group. You can connect with people from all around the world who do not know who you are. You can also build authority in your industry, and you can use the group to promote your products, services, or your business to your ideal prospects as well. So since I have online courses, products, a YouTube channel, and all of those types of things helping videographers with the business side of freelancing, that's exactly what my Facebook group does as well. So before you go off half-cocked and create a Facebook group, here are some steps that you should follow to ensure that you stand out when creating a real community that people want to join on Facebook. So some steps to launch your group. Number one is to research other groups on Facebook to find your niche. See if they're any good at what they do and what they lack, and really write those things down. When I started my Facebook group, it came out of necessity because I was in a bunch of other freelance videography communities and they were terrible. Like, it was just a bunch of old senile 20 plus year veterans that were just making fun of any new guys that were starting out in the industry. So I was super irritated as a user in these Facebook groups. So that's kind of one of the reasons that prompted me to start my own group. So what I would do is research around at some different ones in your niche or in your industry and see what other stuff is out there and what you're going to be going up against. So once you've done your research and you've figured out a little bit about what you want to make your group about, then you want to create your own Facebook group and include all the things that the other groups do not have to make it unique and something that people want to get into. So as you're creating this group, you want to name it something that's really obvious that people could be searching for when they're in the search bar on Facebook. So for mine, my group is for freelance videographers. So my group name is called the Freelance Videographer Community. Just try not to make it something super weird or something that isn't easily found in search. Next up is to create a colorful, eye-catching banner. So between this banner image and the name of your group, those are the two things that people have to look at when they're not a member and decide if they want to follow it, join it, or otherwise engage with that group. Once you've built the page, you've named it, you've put in a really cool looking banner, then you're gonna start inviting your friends and family that fit into that niche or group that are already on your Facebook friends list. And then finally, you're gonna link it to your website, on Reddit, YouTube, and any other places that you can to get people to go to it and follow or join the group. Now that you've built your group, here are some steps to grow it. Number one is to reach out to niche podcasts, YouTube channels, blogs, vendors in the industry, Clubhouse, TikTok, and any other platforms that you can to cross-promote your group. When you're first starting out, it might be kind of tough to get other people in the industry to give you a chance, but don't be afraid to get out and hit the pavement and start trying to find people that would help cross-promote your group. Another way to cross-promote is to join competitive groups on Facebook and DM people that are complaining about certain things. So like I mentioned, when I first started my group, I was in these groups and I kept seeing people complaining about, the group quality, or a bunch of the old senile dudes were just beating up on the new guys. So what I would do is if those people were getting beat up on, I would send them a DM and say, hey, I'm sorry to see that the group is treating you like this. That's one of the reasons why I went out and created my own group called the Freelance Videographer Community. You can go join it here. So you can do some guerrilla type marketing like that to really attract more people. But really you want to do all these different things to try and get at least 100 people in your group to start out. Once you get your dirty 100, that's like the people that are going to be your ride or dies with you forever. And I still have guys that are in my group that are really, really involved, that now there's over 30,000 of us and they've been with me since day one in my group. And they've been really, really helpful and a cornerstone in getting this group off the ground. Now that you've got a good basis of people, you want to start doing weekly posts. Engage with the group, add units to the group, so that people can learn things if you have educational videos or other things like that. In my group, I always do Feedback Fridays, so people in the group can give feedback on different work that they've posted or get people's opinions on their editing. So depending on whatever your niche is, you can make some kind of weekly poll or a weekly post that gets people engaged and gets people commenting. This not only keeps people engaged and just increases the activity on the page, but having a lot of frequency and activity tells Facebook that the group is very helpful and that they should promote your group to more people. And then you want to continue doing these things every single week. So get in a routine, put something on your calendar that, hey, on Mondays I'm going to post in the group, or I'm going to engage for 10 minutes every day, or whatever it is to continue to get that feedback loop going on, get comments on the posts, and get people comfortable with being in the group. Once you start getting a lot of people in the group, the next thing is to have some steps in place for moderation. Moderation is basically the people that create the group have to make sure that people are being behaved in your group, not saying hurtful or mean things, and adhering to the group rules. So the first step is developing a clear set of rules about what can be shared in the group and what cannot. Facebook has suggestions on things you can have as rules in your group, but usually it's no spammers, no solicitations, no camera gear reviews, or whatever it is that's specific to your niche. In my group, it's a lot of just limiting hate speech and talking down to people that are lower on the knowledge or experience level than somebody else. So that's like rule number one in my group, is that you have to have constructive criticism, and if you're being an ass, I'm just gonna kick you out of the group, because that's the whole reason why we started our group in the first place, was to have a safe space that people can share work that they're doing for feedback. And this is going to be different for every one of your industries. If you're into real estate, or if you're into knitting or crocheting, or whatever niche or whatever type of group you're trying to create, you want to make sure that you have clear rules that are specific for that group, so then it's a very enjoyable experience for everybody. Another step that you can do is to make the group private, so people have to request to join with a submission, and they have to answer a couple questions before they can get let into the group. This is great for just keeping out spammers and people that are trying to abuse your time and just use your group to try and sell things to people. But it's also a great way to kind of screen people. And in my group, I ask 3 questions. I ask, how did you hear about us? What do you plan to give to the group? And what do you plan to get from the group? These 3 questions tell me pretty much everything I need to know about a submission to see if they're a good candidate to be in the group. So once you get your questions in place, then you're gonna have to manually approve or deny people until there are too many a day that it makes it a little bit hard for you to do. As I mentioned, my group gets about 200 people a day, so I'm usually skimming through, reading the questions really quickly, and accepting or denying people based on their questions that they answered. So once you get people flowing into the group, you want to make sure that you stay on top of your moderation and boot spammers or any other unwanted people that have a first offense or second offense. Again, you can have rules in place if it's a 3 strikes and you're out type of rule. But for me, if somebody's doing any kind of hate speech, talking down to people, being racist or rude or mean, I just kick them out. I mean, it's my group, so I make the rules, and if I don't want them in the group, they're gone. So chances are they're probably not gonna clear their act up. They're just gonna keep being like that. So with 30,000 people, I really don't care at that point. They're usually booted out of the group. Another step that you can consider doing is adding new moderators to help you with these efforts as the group continues to grow. I've kind of kept it close to the chest on this one, and I'm still the sole moderator for the entire group of 30,000 people. Now, if you're going to grow a group to 30,000 people or 50,000 or 100,000, I would encourage you to have other moderators that are helping you with that. So as you get over, 500 to 1,000 people, that's going to become an issue for you. You might just consider putting a post in the group and seeing if anybody was interested in being a moderator. So now you've got a group that is functioning well, you have people flowing into it, they're being recommended from Facebook, you're moderating things, the conversations are going great. Now we're going to start talking about how to convert people that are in this group into your lead list and or turn them into customers. Now, not every group is used for sales efforts, but if you're gonna take all the steps in the effort that I mentioned earlier to grow a Facebook group, it only makes sense that you're monetizing them or having some kind of benefit to you as a person that's put all the time into making this group. And I'm a business and marketing guy, so this is where I kind of nerd out, and I really like using this to grow my lead lists and create customers for my online products that I sell. So the first thing that I do to help turn these people into customers is I welcome every single new member to the group, tagging them in a weekly post. Facebook is forgiving and has a function that you can do this in the members area where it auto tags everybody, and I make a custom message that tells them to go pay attention to my pinned videos where I give all the group rules and give a ton of freebies. So this does a couple things. One, it makes everybody feel warm and welcome when they first come in the group, and a lot of people do not do this in other groups, so it makes me stand out and makes them want to recommend their friends to join as well. That's really a strong thing for me because I want to make sure the group is warm, it's welcoming, and people feel like they are included and can ask any questions that they want. As I mentioned, another pro tip is to have the group rules in a video that is pinned to the top of the group, so people, whenever they pull up the page, it's the first thing that they see. So in my announcement video, I try to talk about who the group's for, who the group's not for, what to expect, some of the group rules, and then I also give people a call to action to go check out my website for a ton of other free downloads, guides, email templates, and a bunch of other stuff that I created for the exact people that are in this group. So these freebies could be a webinar, free ebooks, downloads, an online course, selling a physical book, selling your services or your products if you run or own a business. There are so many things that you can offer in this video, but this is such a critical thing to use this group to grow your business because there's warm leads, all these people that have just come in to your welcome post. They're interested, they're looking around, giving them something to look at that could be a paid option or something that is more free stuff to give them more value is only advantageous to you. If you don't take these steps, a lot of people come into the group, they don't get a lot of initial value, and they're probably gonna leave right away. And we wanna really create a really solid community with this group, so doing these things will help with that. So having this announcement video strategically pinned to the top of the page is super helpful for conversion, but also setting the tone for the group so people know what to expect and kind of making it warm and welcoming for everybody involved. Another step for increasing conversions in your group is to ask the group what they want to see more of. Would group video chat be super helpful to them? Would be doing a Q&A be helpful? Trying to really just get a better feel for what they're looking for can help that as well. Because people subconsciously feel like, if you're gonna add all this value to me for free, plug me into this community of other like-minded people, I cannot imagine what your paid services are like. And another tactic, if you're really focused on conversion, is to post questions to the group in a post to see if you can qualify them with your offers and send them a DM to a link to those offers if they qualify. So an example would be like, how many of you guys are looking to grow your business this year? And if they all say yeah, and they're commenting like, yeah, I really struggle with email, or I'm struggling with cold calling, and I have an online course for cold calling or email, I could just direct message them and say, hey, I saw that you were looking for some kind of solution to this problem. I actually have an online course or an online product that helps you with this thing. So again, no matter what your niche is, you could use this as a strategy to try and turn those people into customers. Now, I typically don't do this just because there are so many people that comment on the posts and I just don't have the time in the day to do this, but if you have a smaller, more intimate group, this could be something that could work for you. So if you followed all these steps, now you have a fully functional, highly engaged Facebook group that's gonna really bring and attract your tribe to you. Facebook groups work really well because Facebook knows that people are highly engaged in groups and get on the platform more frequently throughout the day if they're engaged in those groups. And the way that Facebook makes money is by having more users on more frequently so they can serve you ads. So about 99% of the growth of my group has come directly from Facebook suggesting it to people that are in the newsfeed just scrolling around. I also like groups for building a community because people are typically on Facebook much more frequently throughout the day as compared to a YouTube channel or a LinkedIn account. So consistently being in front of those people makes it so your community will have a real impact on a daily basis. And we want a huge impact so your group grows. Now, I caution you, this doesn't happen overnight. It takes months, and for me, it took years to grow a thriving Facebook group. So if you want to start one out of selfish reasons like selling something or having lead generation, it's likely gonna flop because you're pushing pitches rather than real connection first. Now, if you just have an interest in a certain industry or a topic, there's no other groups out there about that topic, feel free to create a group. It's super fun. But if you're a business owner or you have products or a service that can help monetize things on the internet, a Facebook group is a great way to do it. And for many of my video marketing clients, I encourage them to look at Facebook groups as an opportunity to build an organic audience for free on Facebook, if that's where your audience spends a lot of time. For my two businesses, I mainly focus on LinkedIn and YouTube as a way to find clients. But Facebook is a great place that those people might be more frequently on a daily basis that I can provide value and community to those people at scale. So maybe they're not on LinkedIn or YouTube, I can still help those people every day. So whether you just have an interest in a topic or you have a business that you're trying to promote, I think starting a Facebook group is a great idea, as long as you follow the steps that we outlined here in this video. I think you're gonna be off to a great start. The marketing stuff will come after the group brings real value to the members in it, so don't jump into that too early. But if you lead with a sales approach, your group is not likely gonna grow very fast. People are gonna know they're being sold to, it's just a sleazy thing, and they're gonna be gone. So if you're a videographer, make sure to join my Facebook group, the Freelance Videographer Community, that we've been talking about this entire time. I'll put a link to it in the description box below this video. So if you have any questions about starting a Facebook group, please make sure to leave them in the comment section below. I read every comment, so trolls, beware. If there are any other topics around online marketing or social media that you have, you can also leave those in the comment section as well, and I'll make sure to direct you to wherever I can help you. That about does it for me, guys. My name is Ryan Snod. It rhymes with odd, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.